Hello and welcome to Daily We Do. We're back. It's been a while, but we're happy to be back and creating content for you guys. We've missed this, we've missed you, but we're back and so glad to be. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you single and does this kind of make you sad? Well, don't be. You have a destiny and it doesn't require anybody but you to get there. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, right after this. What's up everybody, Justin and Tanya here, back at ya. Thank you so much for tuning in.
If this is your first time joining us today, we want to say welcome. This channel is all about creating, nurturing, and enjoying long-lasting relationships.
Yep, if you like what we do here on this channel, we would love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and leave us a little bit of love in the comments below.
Now let's get to the topic.
There are so many movies and TV shows today that focus on falling in love and finding that perfect soulmate. We're inundated with social media pictures of perfect couples. They swarm all around us, making it easy to get caught up in the belief that if our lives don't look perfect, then we somehow aren't complete or we're not whole if we happen to be single. Then insecurity sets in and we start believing that maybe we aren't good enough if we haven't found that perfect soulmate.
It can be a dangerous thing, or it can be dangerous to believe that we aren't enough without someone else. And that belief can even lead into us settling for someone that doesn't treat us right.
Now, marriage is an amazing thing, and the Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And Tanya is my best friend, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But nowhere in the Bible does it require you to be married to experience joy and fulfillment. In fact, the Bible says that marriage takes a lot of work and actually divides our time away from God so that we focus on earthly things like each other and pleasing each other instead of fully being committed to God.
Bottom line is that marriage is great and we love it, but it takes a lot of nurturing and it's not a requirement to living a fulfilled life. So here's just a couple of thoughts on why we think it's a-okay to be single.
Number one,
value ourselves. If we don't understand our value, ultimately we're going to allow others to determine it for us, and that can be disastrous because not everyone has our best interests in mind. But if we return to what God says about us, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, that's as valuable as it comes. If we don't allow our self-value to be limited by people's expectations of us, then we're off to a good start because we are valuable in God's eyes.
Number two, replace insecurity with the confidence in knowing whose we are. We are God's sons and daughters. This goes hand in hand with finding value in who we are. When we really take a hold of knowing that we are God's children, it matters way less what society says we should be and more about who God says we are.
We are God's children. And number three, we must stop believing that we are not complete until we find Mr. or Mrs. Right. First off, it's not healthy to walk through life believing that we are incomplete or that we're just half of a whole and therefore we're incomplete. The Bible says that God, before He formed us in our mother's womb, He knew us. God created us just the way we are.
Yeah, so do we still need to strive to be like Jesus? Of course we do, but we also need to realize that our own definition of the perfect life may not be God's definition of perfection for our lives. We all have troubles in life, but this doesn't mean we still aren't fearfully and wonderfully made.
So not only is it unhealthy to walk through life feeling half alive, but if we do end up meeting that special someone and have the expectation of that person making us whole, we're putting a lot of pressure on that other person.
And that in and of itself can harm any relationship because no one person can make us whole. Only God can make us truly whole.
Now we've touched on this in another video, but Justin and I did not meet until I was in my 30s. And being a single woman in your 30s and up can easily make you feel insecure because of it not being quite the social norm. I used to actually find myself thinking of excuses to make when people would ask me why I wasn't married. Listen, it's completely okay to be single. Don't be pressured into believing that you're living a less valuable life if you're single. That's hogwash. The Apostle Paul was one of the greatest men in the Bible, and he was single his entire life. God uses single people just as much as He uses married folk.
All right, guys, so whether you are married or single, we encourage you today to enjoy the season of life you are in right now.
And remember, you are God's children, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Peace.